Hello and thank you for joining us on Journalist Hangout on Sunday. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Today on the program, Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja provides updates on the attack on Goza in Borno State by suicide bombers. ANEC lists 142 recommendations to improve electoral process in Nigeria. And later on the show, Profubara Assembly heads to Supreme Court as Ugo Chinyere, 59 other lawmakers insist that appeal courts did not void declaration of 25 Rivers lawmaker seat as vacant. Today on the program, I will be hanging out with Adewale Adeoye and Adekunle Yusuf, while Babajide Kolade Otitoju joins us via Zoom. Gentlemen, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Journalist Hangout on Sunday.
Good afternoon.
Mikhail, good afternoon to you, sir. Are you there? All right, then. Journalist Hangout starts now. Of democracy is freedom of the press to be critical of government policies and decisions, but it's a delicate task that requires caution. The Samoa Agreement, a framework that guides the relationship between the European Union, EU, and the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific Nations on sustainable development, climate change, and investment opportunities for members, is generating reactions in Nigeria over negative media reports. Although the agreement was first signed by member states on the 15th of November 2023, Nigeria's assent to the partnership in June sparked concerns over allegations that it contains offensive agreements. The federal government has vowed to sue the Daily Trust newspaper for its reports, suggesting that it agreed to the rights of the LGBTQ in exchange for AIDS. As they say, responsible journalism is the bedrock of democracy. But let's share the story by TVC News. Uloma Oyemachi with you. I'll be right back.
On 28 June 2024, Nigeria signed the Samoa Agreement at the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States Secretariat in Brussels, Belgium. This partnership agreement involves the EU, its member states, and the OACPS members. Following the signing, there were widespread criticisms alleging that the agreement included provisions endorsing LGBTQ activities within Nigeria. The federal government has refuted these claims, attributing them to misinformation spread by Daily Trust and other outlets that failed to seek clarification.
We, however, did not envisage that Daily Trust and the people behind it could descend to the reckless level of attempting to set the country on fire by falsely accusing the government of signing a deal to promote LGBTQ. The federal government has decided to lodge a formal complaint to the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria's Ombudsman on this irresponsible reporting. In addition, the federal government will use every lawful means to seek redress in the court of law.
The information minister insists President Bola Tinubu's administration highly regards the Nigerian constitution and its laws.
The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not in any way sign anything that goes against our constitution, our laws, our culture, and our various faiths.
Adding more clarity to the Samoa Partnership Agreement, the budget minister confirmed there's no $1 million clause. He said the deal aims to boost Nigeria's capital across various sectors.
Within this agreement, there is nowhere where it is mentioned that Nigeria is going to receive 150 billion or any sum for that matter.
Copies of the agreement were shared with the press to ensure accurate information reaches the public. The media has been advised to seek proper clarification for information that they do not understand to avoid misrepresentation of government policies and inciting the public. Uloma Oyemachi, TVC News, Abuja.
All right, then. So I hear BKO has joined us now. Good afternoon, BKO. How are you today? Welcome to the program.
I'm fine.
All right.
I'm fine, though.
All right, so, gentlemen, really and truly, responsible and ethical journalism shouldn't be hard, after all. Adekunle.
Yes, there is no democracy without media.
That's a fact that has been proved over the years. Without democracy,
there is no media. Sorry, without the media, there is no democracy. Because the media serves like the oxygen that nourishes, democratic, governance by holding people in power accountable. And that's part of the Constitution of Nigeria. But in this case, coming to what has happened, it's very, very unfortunate. What the Daily Trust did was not proper journalism the way the Constitution envisages it and the way the profession is practiced. It is pure, I don't want to say fake news. I don't want to say fake news because you read the report. It even quoted portions of the so-called agreement that it is reporting. And when you read that story very well, looking for people to talk and their opinion on a document you don't have. So at the end of the day, what the Daily Trust has just done is just fiction, like when our people write fiction. So it is bad for journalism, it is bad for the country. But take a look at it, it's a reflection of the state of our profession. And I reflect deep. For your whole newspaper, yes, a publication that has paid its dues. When I read it, I believed the news, but I said, okay. Well, especially when I saw some portions that were, quoted. And I saw many credible, advocacy, organizations writing extensively on it, all over the social media. But we didn't know that what Daily Trust did, we call it lazy journalism. Because even if the government didn't provide the document, there are other avenues through which you can get the document. You sign an agreement with other bodies. You can provide it. What is the big deal in an agreement, for the country? At the end of the day, is this not embarrassing enough? What can be more embarrassing than this? The government has come out with the entire document. Then on the website of the European, you see the document there too. And nothing about $150 billion. Then nothing has clearly said that somebody or anyone should support LGBT issues. And if you read the document very well, it even says that many European countries are not, in agreement with LGBT issues because it's a very sensitive and controversial matter. So they now said you resort to your own local laws to do this so that you handle it the way it best suits, individual countries' interests. Right. But now, newspaper went to town to say, hey, Nigeria is trying to do this. That is not the journalism that anyone can be proud of.
Adeyeye, how bad is it that this newspaper's report was premised on somebody's opinion?
Well, in the first place, I think as editor of a newspaper, at least from my own experience in the past, editors are always under pressure, consistent pressure, like football coaches. But when you're under pressure, that is when you need to be meticulous, because you are not careful, the wrong what you can pass under the machine, and then if you don't, you are going to end up in a very serious crisis. It's not an excuse for you because you're under pressure to now bail out what is false. So because by the time it comes out, it cannot be reversed again. So I think, first of all, editors and Nigerians must understand what is the Samoa Agreement in the first place. Because that's 103 articles. It contains 3 regional protocols. So it's not just about same-sex marriage. The regional protocols are between European Union and Pacific countries, then African countries and the EU, then European Union and the Caribbean. So they call it Samoa because Samoa is like a small island with about 222,000 people located in South Pacific Ocean. So the governments all over the world go there to sign a variety of agreements that covers economic issues, cultural issues, social issues. And the other agreement, which has 103 articles, not just one, there is issue of gender equality. And when the gender equality is not about same-sex marriage. It's not. And 48 countries have signed this agreement, 48 African countries. 16 of them are 16 other countries in the Caribbean have signed the agreement because of the richness of this agreement in terms of promoting socio-economic activities among the member states. So a good editor will not just isolate the issue of, that is not even the focus of the Samoa Agreement. And I think we are talking about Daily Trust. Daily Trust is a national newspaper and well respected. I read national Daily Trust a lot. And it's very popular in the North. So a sensitive newspaper like that is very popular in a conservative North. You need to be very careful of the consequences of this kind of report because it can spur up violence. Yes. Considering the fact that Nigeria is a very fragile, if you like, highly inflammable country.
Some clerics are already reacting to this.
Yes. So Daily Trust must understand its historical responsibility to set agenda for peace and conflict prevention. So that kind of statement that, the report is very dangerous. I felt such a report will have gone through several desks, the sub-desk, the news editor, the editor, and even legal department. And then it's very easy, just Google and get your facts. So I think it's a major error on the part of Daily Trust. At the same time, we are all human beings. We are not, we are not perfect.
Indeed.
Yes. So I don't agree with the idea of government going to court. I think there are other ways. The government
says this has become a norm for this particular newspaper. According to the minister,
it
says in the aftermath of the coup in Niger Republic, Daily Trust championed the jaundiced narrative that the federal government was driving the country into
I'm sorry, I disagree with that.
All right, let's hear the perspective.
The newspaper does a lot of beautiful things.
All right, Vikio, let me come to you. How do you react to this?
Well, no matter how good a newspaper is, no matter the record of stellar history that a newspaper has, if you carried out the kind of journalism that we are talking about now, then you've not covered yourself in glory at all. This is one of the newspapers that I respect the most. Usually, when I'm looking for topics for JH, it's one of the first two newspapers that I check. But what he just did is an example of irresponsible journalism, and there's no way anybody can defend what the Daily Trust has done. It is lucky that this is a government that is not high-handed. Otherwise, maybe by now they will have gone to shut the premises of the newspaper. After all, for merely reporting what was happening in Baga some years back, soldiers locked up the Daily Trust newspaper. So it has to be careful about the way it reports issues that are precarious in nature, issues that are sensitive in nature. What it has done is simply to stir religious and cultural tension in our country without any reason, without any evidence. I mean, even the journalists who are just coming into the profession know that you have to tick some boxes before you push a publication out. And it is downright irresponsible, borderline irresponsibility to do this kind of story. I will not say, because I'm a journalist, not condemn what they have done, because look at what the minister said. We did not sign anything that has a clause challenging our laws. We respect our two religions. You see, some clerics are already reacting to this and attacking the government. So when these sort of things happen, some people will think that, it's political in nature. It has 2027 written all over it. Daily Trust has made a mistake, and it has to be careful. We do not expect this sort of thing that is capable of setting our country ablaze will happen again. We do not expect it to happen again.
All right, gentlemen.